FEMA officials will be checking things out today when we can expect to see an estimate coming up on flood damage in our state.
As the children of Haiti go back to school, the government is still pleading for aid. I'm Ainsley Earhart, and I'll have that story for you coming up.
Good morning, I'm Brad Jones.
And I'm Cindy Farmer. The temperature this morning, cool. Did you feel it when you walked out the door?
Yeah.
You probably.
Yesterday you said you turned on the heat.
Yep.
I did. Today,
you did?
Yeah, and cranked it up. Yeah.
So did I. Cranked it up a little higher this morning, Tom.
Yeah, this is about the coolest morning we have seen in quite some time. Take a look here. Officially 46 degrees at PTI, but most folks seeing quite a bit cooler than that. 43 being reported out of Burlington, 44 officially for High Point. Winston-Salem at 48, 42 degrees being reported out of Reidsville just now. Composite satellite and radar, few clouds. Looks like they're clearing on out of here, though. It's going to be a mostly sunny day out there today. The bigger picture here, there's that low pressure system finally pushing on off. Yesterday we kept seeing some of those clouds returning with that. We're going to have some clearing skies. High pressure system is going to be coming in. Now this is a cold front, but what that's going to do actually is just put a cap on our temperatures rising, because they are going to start rising today. Today is actually going to be up around 70 degrees, so that's some great news there. Our high temperature, there's that 70 degrees, but check out the winds. 10 to 25 miles per hour. Going to be a little bit breezy out there today and a little bit gusty at times. Overnight tonight, down around 45 degrees. Here's the 5-day outlook. We've got 70 for today, and then tomorrow is actually going to be about the warmest day that we're going to be seeing for a while, with a high temperature up around close to 80 degrees. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, things kind of moderate, but they're going to hang on to those upper 70s. Low temperatures, pretty doggone cool, though.
City of Greensboro pretty quiet right now, but Police Chief Ken Miller says it will be a much safer place if more officers are out on the streets. That's why Miller is asking Greensboro City Council for more money to cover overtime costs. Fox 8's Kristen Nelson tells us officers feel it's the only way to cut down on the number of burglaries, robberies, and car break-ins.
1091 home invasion. All units responded, be advised, came into the apartment, forced them to the floor.
252, you can just clear me code 4, and I'll be in there.
A home invasion in broad daylight. It's crimes like these the Greensboro Police Department is trying hard to prevent.
We're seeing an increase in the number of first degrees where somebody's kicking a door and somebody's at home.
3 out of 4 divisions within the Greensboro Police Department say burglaries are the main problem they need to fix.
In an ideal world, we'd have been able to set up a perimeter quickly and narrow it down to a couple of streets and block folks in. But we've got folks riding all around, as you can see right now, trying to locate. We just passed 2 other sets of officers.
Each patrol division is focusing on 2 crime categories that are a problem for the division.
Greensboro Police Chief Ken Miller went before City Council asking to use existing grant money to supply the police department with more overtime.
I would just encourage you to don't hesitate to come back if we need more to make sure our citizens are safe.
Greensboro police are trying to be proactive because with the holidays approaching, Chief Miller says burglaries and car break-ins tend to creep up.
And we want to create an awareness campaign as well as a presence in each of the areas where these things are happening so that we get our officers in there on top of things.
The grant money totals $400,000. It could only be used for specific functions like reducing crime. Chief Miller says they also plan to use some of that money for public service announcements to educate residents on how to protect themselves from becoming a crime victim.
Governor Perdue is preparing a proposal to reorganize and consolidate the state government's spending. It's all an effort to find areas where money can be shaved away and then put aside for a potential $3 billion budget deficit next fiscal term. Perdue has already asked the state council members to go ahead and consider voluntary spending reductions, while her budget office is looking at how agencies can save 5% this fall. Perdue wants to save up to 15% for next year's budget proposal. She'll announce how she plans to do that next month.
An email in the wrong hands has some asking State House Representative Larry Brown for a public apology. Now, Brown's a Republican from Kernersville. He's accused of sending a message to a colleague with derogatory words referring to gays and lesbians. That email also used the term Fruit Loops to describe fellow lawmakers. The group Equality North Carolina says it is outraged by Brown's comments.
We just think it's outrageous that, in this day and age, people are still saying these kinds of things and publicizing them as if, that's something that everyone believes.
In that email, Brown was referring to an award Democratic Speaker Joe Hackney will be receiving from a gay rights organization. So far, Brown has not commented on the email.
A Guilford County school teacher is charged with taking indecent liberties with a minor, and Greensboro police say it happened on school grounds. 43-year-old Israel Martin Diaz Suarez is an exchange teacher at Dudley working on a work visa. Well, investigators say he inappropriately touched a 12-year-old girl. She attends Lincoln Middle School, which is right next to the Dudley campus. Officers tell us the incident happened while the girl was waiting outside the school for her mom to pick her up. Well, the last man to see a Concord police chief's daughter alive is now back in Charlotte. Police say Michael Harvey is involved with the death investigation of Valerie Hamilton. The two met at a restaurant the night Hamilton died. Investigators found her body in a storage facility, but so far investigators haven't said just how she died. As of right now, it's not clear whether Harvey has actually been charged with her murder. He told police Hamilton died after taking too many drugs.
FEMA officials will take a look at flood damage in the eastern part of the state today. Heavy rains caused a lot of problems for homes and businesses in low-lying areas, and now farmers are worried about how it will affect their crops. Governor Perdue has declared a state of emergency after 19 counties reported damage. FEMA officials won't have an official estimate, though, until the end of the week.
Former President Bill Clinton will be in Haiti today. He's expected to talk about housing for quake survivors.
Fox News correspondent Ainsley Earhart tells us the country's leader there making another plea for help.
Many children are returning to school in the earthquake-shattered capital of Port-au-Prince. Teachers and parents are trying to raise funds to make it the first full year of school since the quake hit back in January. Some schools are holding classes in tents.
I'm not going to make politics with the development of Haiti. We need all the help that we can get.
More than 1 million homeless quake survivors are living in fragile tent camps. The Prime Minister says the money already pledged will be stretched thin.
You get to $10 billion. That is what it's promised to Haiti for the next 10 years. But to do housing, to do agriculture, to do education, to do roads, to create jobs, and so on, and so on, and so on.
The January 12th earthquake killed up to 300,000 people. The aid money pledged in New York in March is a generous amount. But once that money is divided among 10 million residents.
When you have the big numbers, it's a lot of money. But when you get to the reality, you have $180 per Haitian per year to make all the necessary we're just talking about.
President Clinton will be in Haiti on Wednesday. He's expected to visit a tent camp and talk with the Prime Minister about housing. This appeal for funding comes just 2 months before Haiti's November 28th presidential election. The country's new leader will likely continue the fundraising process. In New York, Ainsley Earhart, Fox News.
After doing school repairs, building a new jail, the bill's coming due. We'll tell you how Guilford County leaders are hoping to get the debt paid off and whether you have a say in the matter.
Can diversity win out over the proposal for community-based schools in Wake County? The decision board members made to put a stop to all the talking.
And checking our traffic on this Wednesday morning, so far so good. No accidents, no unusual problem areas to tell you about. I'm keeping an eye on it, though. I'll let you know if anything develops. Traffic reports throughout the morning as the Fox 8 Morning News continues.
Leaf blower is nice. Listen, why don't you shut her down and we'll talk price.
This portion of the Fox 8 News is sponsored by Southside Bargain Center.
Have you finished your homework, boys?
No, I just had to finish spelling, that's all. What does prudence mean, Mom?
What does prudence mean?
I'll Google it.